This is John TV on Rensomer Multimedia Engineering. Hi, this is John doing another video. Well, I might do it every day considering I wanted to be a media company. And to get your voice and face out there is kind of hard, but I have at least a few followers. So to the people that care about my voice and my right to freedom of speech, here we go. A suspect in massage parlor killing spree said he was angry over sex addiction, wanted to kill more. From the police department, and that's the story I'll cover. I think the deviancy a lot of men have with their sex partners is okay, but there's a few things that I don't like, and that's stories like this. He says he has a sex addiction, which if you're not having sex, you don't have a sex addiction, okay? So if you're like the guy who went to therapy for sex addiction and had sex with many actresses and stuff like that, then that's one thing. But I don't know, you could have a way to find women at strip clubs and stuff like that. I went to strip clubs before and never even touched a single woman. I just wanted to see something. I wanted to see what it's like. I maybe got a lap dance before, but never turned into anything. And people can dispute that, but I'm really you're not gonna find anything on me. Never brought anybody back to my room, never went back to their place. What I have done is gone on trips, and that has caused me to have encounters with women, either the ones that live there. I mean, there's Vegas and there's sex workers there. Never tried that though. And the idea that you have to have a lot of sexual encounters. What I read in a book or in a manual of some sort or on the internet was that the people that have the most sex are not single people and not formerly married people, but the ones that are currently married. The ones that have happy, and it's not necessarily a happy type of it's not usually just a happy union that we're talking about. But I think if you have a lifelong mate, then you are having more fun than anybody else. And I think if people look in their heart and try to think about drugs and alcohol, cigarettes, all the stuff that we have that are vices in the U.S., and that's what they are, then we can decide what to do with, and this is with people that I don't know about schooling. There's certain aspects of COVID that I think we'll go back to normal. Certainly people won't be wearing masks because honestly that's a scary proposition. You can tell if someone has a gun most of the cases, but if they have a good enough car and they commit a crime and they do it at the right time and they have weapons and they take out their subject quickly and then they drive off, then that's not a good proposition. And if they're wearing a mask, then there will be descriptions based on the hairstyle and body type's the only thing that you can really prove. So if I see a girl that I like at church and it's similar to the woman that I'm talking to on the internet supposedly, and she says she's going to church and I say I'm going to church, and she says she's going Catholic and I say I'm going Catholic, and I see a woman that looks spot on just like the woman that I was talking about, talking to, then that's a clear case that maybe that's her. So I don't know. I could be in Congress. If people will vote for me, I don't think Lizzie Fletcher is very good. She's one of the people in charge that made the winter storm so bad, and we didn't have heating in my house for the longest time. It was actually cooled down. So what I propose is that I don't know if you can make a service or something. I mean, you pay for it, right? So it's a capitalistic market. But a lot of these things like health and other things are not guaranteed. Are you going to give like someone with Down syndrome breast implants and write it off to somebody who is actually successful? You can't just grant free. You can't make someone beautiful, and you can't necessarily get the right ruling on something unless you truly work for it. And say I were a congressman at 25, which is the date I think or 26 or 27, and I didn't like something about abortion, and I wrote a deal and I sit down and do I guess you could call it a sequester or something like that. But it's gotten a little ridiculous with how do these women in the porn industry just throw their bodies around? I don't dislike what they do. It's kept me from having kids myself. But and then it doesn't make sense to tell somebody what they can do with their body if you're going to give them free health care, right? So if you're going to give them free health care, you get abortion off the table. And you can't make adjustments to the law without making that the proposition. Because if you want to be responsible and be beautiful, I don't care if you get tattoos. Get tattoos, that's fine too. If you appreciate art and want your body to look a certain way, then that's part of your core values. But you're not going to infringe on my core values, because I give more to the community than most of the people, probably more than 95% of the people in the world. That's why I get listened to, and I get experience. And I think people that are even in office right now don't do as much as me and people that are friends of mine do. So whether you have experience or a certain line of thinking that the law provides, then that's okay. But we got to rethink some things. And if you want to tell me that I got to be with around certain people all the time, like you did with COVID, because you took plane flights away, you took my face away. I had Facebook, but you took my face away, right? So I can't. That's like defaming me and all the people that work. So they want to continue to make these additions to the law, and they want to give people that want to hurt me citizenship and voting rights when I was born an American and they weren't. And I know what it's like to be an American. So Obama wants to pipe up about, and he can because he was president, and I don't dislike him because he headed in the right direction. But he was true to his code. He's not like Biden. And I know I said sorry to Biden, but maybe I was saying like sorry Biden. I don't know. I'm not a happy person right now. And what we do, Obama makes gun control pitch just hours after the Georgia killings. But if you take my right away to have a gun because I support something you don't, and in the black market your people get guns, then that doesn't make sense. It means that's why it has to be a blanket right that everyone can have the Second Amendment at a certain age. Just like if you want to go fishing, you have to be and have a license. You have to have a license instead of having just going out with your pole necessarily if you're going to go game fishing or something like that, like in the Gulf. So I've done that before too. I'm not a liar. Of course I know that. But do you need to have a license to get married? Yes. You need to have a license to get married. So I'm working on that too. And I thought Obama would be less discriminatory because he's a mixed guy. I don't know which of his parents was white, but I think he does have a white parent. Sorry, I don't know more about you, President Obama. At least at this moment. So wow. So you want to blame Trump for when he's not in office and Republicans for shooting without any evidence? It's almost like we have two presidents right now that are making that one is making the law, but he's acting like he's a senator and not a president. White supremacy is wrong. I don't agree with it. There's people that are scary from every side, though, so you want to blame one side of the coin when there's two sides. It's like a quarter. If you want heads or tails in a football game, you say heads or tails. So the KKK and neo-Nazis still exist, and that's true. But the majority of white Americans are law-abiding Americans, and they do not cause any trouble at all. So that's offensive to say white supremacy in my mind. And you might say, well, you're a white supremacist, so you would think that, but that's not true. You can't just, if you're going to say I'm a white supremacist, then I can say Joe Biden is a baby killer. Because they're talking about making it late-term abortion legal. I don't know if they said that nationwide. Maybe they should get off that. So he should be having the correct... it should be correct in terms of legality and calling someone white supremacist or making a blanket statement about Republicans saying they're all white supremacists. You can talk to Candace Owens and see what I think that's her name, what she thinks about that. And all the people from PragerU or even white people, why do they have to be black? Ask us the question, because I know people are making that assumption that white people are all bad and rich and taking all the money. The people who have been here longer have established businesses. And if you're going to be an immigrant, then you're going to struggle. The first generation of many immigrants don't end up making a lot of money. It's not paramount unless you're extremely talented. So that's proven by history. And even the people that were slaves in America, or Native Americans that were slaughtered, have done very well in terms of readjusting that, whether they live east, west coast, northeast, anywhere in America, Texas especially. We have great people in Texas, attractive people, all ages are very attractive. We like holidays. We like things big here. So we eat a lot of beef, and you might say we need to eat more vegan patties, or maybe you're telling that to me, but I'm in good shape. I can walk 5 stories pretty quickly, and if you want me to prove it, you can meet me at Rinsmer Associates, and we can I can show you how I walk the stairs, and that's how I stay in shape during COVID. So I guess all the news is, well, here's some there's going to be a trial for Governor Cuomo, governor's impeachment trial. Maybe if they're Trump holdovers, I think some of them might even be Obama holdovers. It just depends on the selection how they were selected. And this is a important thing to listen to. By the way, most of my government training happened in high school, college, and watching the news very religiously afterwards. And I learned a lot in the past few years, but even all that happened and Trump got kicked out of office, and I pushed a lot for him. I volunteered, I showed my support, I paid money. The money I had, I didn't have a lot of money, and I did it. So I've proven that I'm Republican. If you want a guy that's proven Republican, lives in your district, I live in District 7, Texas, Houston, Texas, and I am a constitutionalist. I believe in state rights and also federal rights in terms of how they should be, but I might be more Republican in terms of how they should be formed. And all these personal rights that we're giving to people now, we're going to be not most of the people that are affected by it. It's such a minority, yet you want to tax everybody. Isn't Social Security enough? I mean, it doesn't make sense that you're going to just tax even more for healthcare, and then you're going to start saying certain procedures that are cosmetic or plastic surgery, because I know it's happening, are going to be free government paid things. None of those women will have good lives. We should teach our kids to love their bodies how they are. I even loved myself when I was overweight. I love myself now. So if people want to take my rights away, then they can talk to the Republicans that are in office. Talk to Ted Cruz, talk to John Cornyn, Governor Abbott. I also defend my own rights in my own way. So I don't want to fight anybody, but I'm not going to go out to get anybody. But I will be protecting myself, as this is an important time in my life, and honestly, if rights are going to be stipend and taken away by the Democrats, then when we get elected, and it will happen next 2022, Congress will flip and we will make the changes accordingly. So, but I know Biden won't work with us, and he's going to write executive order after executive order. We'll have executive orders up to here or up to the ceiling,